Guys, as you can see, this is not going to be my usual fully edited video with a big intro and all that jazz. Today we're going to be quick because I have a lot going on this week. On Thursday, we're doing our 4-player tournament giveaway where we're giving away a box of OP09 or PBR1. Whoever wins top can choose to play against me to take me on instead, get PBR1 rather than OP09. And if you lose, of course, we still just split the prizing between all the contestants rather than just the one who did win. So it gets split either way and you always win. So that's going to be really cool. That was happening in our Discord. Thanks to everyone who did join in the giveaway. We'll be doing more very soon because we're almost already at 1,000 subs. I mean, that was a 500 sub giveaway 2 weeks ago. And now we're closing in on 1,000. We're at 800 or so. So I wanted to do a quick video because I don't have much time today, but I wanted to throw something out for you guys. And I wanted to do it with one of my favorite future leaders. I mean, not the leader himself, but the character from the anime. I love Jinbe so much, and it meant a lot to me with the story of Jinbe when he was there for Luffy. I mean, I was going through a time in my life that genuinely I felt like I was in that Luffy position when I started watching Marineford and everything. So going through that arc in a bad spot of my life, seeing someone lose someone like I did, I mean, just having someone be there like that, it was really something that like really made me fall for One Piece. Because I mean, anime does have more of a meaning in when you dive deeper, and sometimes it's just some fun show about pirates. So you can always draw your meaning from whoever, but I got a lot from Jinbe and I really care about Jinbe. So let's get into the leader. End of your turn, if you have 6 or less cards in your hand, set up to one of your Fishman or Merfolk type characters with as active, and then up to 1 Dawn as active. So we'll be able to set up a Dawn for a 1-cost event and such. So we'll go through the list real quick, be kind of as fast as possible, while also being thorough. And this is not my personal list. I did get this one off of Limitless. No, I got this one off spellmana.com. It's one that was just thrown together before this was really announced, or well, it was announced, but before we had anybody actually playing this deck, which I doubt many people will anyways. But if we do, I think this deck has a lot of fun stuff. I don't think it's going to be good, but I think it's a cool deck, and it's a cool character at the end of the day. So anyways, this is all about Fishmen, so let's get into the Fishmen. Some of them are not so good as Jinbe because we have Arlong. If your leader is Fishman type, give 1 rested Dawn to your leader, then one of your opponent's cost 5 or lower cannot become rested during your opponent's next turn, or until the end of your opponent's next turn, if I can speak today. So basically it stops blockers, it stops searchers, like the searchers that tap themselves, like our Shirahoshi. If we were going in a mirror match or against a Bonnie or anything, it stops things from attacking. Like, this is such a good card, and it gives us a rested Dawn to swing in for 6 rather than 5. So on 3, we can just play this out, stop whatever they put for 2. On 5, we can play this out, get the rested Dawn, still have 3 to play something else, like a Tashigi, which we'll get into in a minute. This card is just really good. It's way better in the green-yellow Arlong, but I definitely can see why we play this. You have Kami, which is a top 4 searcher for just Fishman or Merfolk. You have Vanderdecken, which just says trash a Fishman type, KO any rested character. No cost to that. So this card's going to be very, very strong in the deck and one you need to pay attention to, comboed with other effects you'll see in just a moment. Hody Jones, of course, is going to be one of the best Fishman cards out there. 7/8, rush, tap 2 characters, or Dawn, and then take a life. Aladdin is a blocker, and then on KO, summon a 3-cost or lower Fishman or Merfolk type character. So the cool thing we can combine with this is we can use this effect to block out and then play out Vanderdecken because it is on play. So if we're going against like a Marshall D Teach, they haven't stopped our on plays yet. Technically, if they did swing with the 10 Teach, we can block out with this, drop down the Vanderdecken from hand. It's very specific, but it is a possibility with this Vanderdecken. We do have Fisher Tiger that can attack characters on the turn as played, and it can rest a cost 6 or lower on play. Tashigi saves any cost or any green character from being KO'd, and rather it just rests itself. It's also a 2k counter, really helping us. This deck is really good into black with a lot of on KO effects, but even then you're still losing resources as they continue to build up resources, so it's still kind of difficult. You have Arlong, of course, which if your leader is Fishman type and you have 3 or less life in your life area, and your opponent has 5 or more rested cards on the field, very, very specific, this character gets -3 cost in the hand. So it's basically a 4-cost 7k. I mean, that can definitely be good when you hit that situation, but most of the time you just don't. Because, attached Dawn isn't rested, so even on 5 Dawn, if they swing for 6, that's still not 4 rested Dawn. So, there's so many specific things. You can play around this card as well, just knowing that information. It's okay. We get into Aladdin. Aladdin's one of the on KO effects, so if this character would be KO'd by one of their effects, tap 1 Dawn, and then trash. You may trash 1 hand. So you just trash your hand. No, it's supposed to say you may trash one card from your hand, rest one Dawn. If you do, play one Fishman or Merfolk type character with a cost of 6 or less from your hand. So the only issue I have with this is I thought it would be good into black, but then they are KOing this ability, ripping a card from your hand, and then you play out another body from hand, going minus, what, 3 resources there, so you lose the board, then you get the board back, so I guess that's +1, but then -2 in hand, so you go -2 to get this effect, and you have to have the Dawn, which is good in Jinbe, of course, because you have it, but then it shuts off any of your counter events, so it's just okay, but we're testing it because, again, we're just stealing this deck list and being quick today. Praline is just a blocker, rest one of your opponent's characters at the cost of 1 or less. Shirahoshi is a rest itself kind of blocker, grabbing any Sea King or Fishman Island type character. We have Jinbe. Jinbe is going to be one of the best cards in the deck, basing on play rest of 5 cost or lower, and then activate main. Once per turn, any Fishman, even itself, basically can attack characters the same turn they are played. So we can do this with itself, playing this out for 6, have an 8k swinging a character on the turn this is played, being a very, very strong card in the deck. This is going to be probably the best card altogether, and one that we can also play in other Fishman decks in the future, and something we'll definitely play testing with. You have Surumi. This is, obviously Luffy's best friend. Great 2k counter. I mean, it's a 5/6 vanilla, so it's nothing crazy, but I can definitely see why we start to play characters like this. It's really good, especially when you don't have a ton of searchable 2Ks, because the only 2 you have for these decks, I think, are these, and then you have Hachan, and Hachan's not great. It's a 4-drop 4K with a trigger to rest a character, I believe. So I definitely go for the Jinbe instead. I mean, Jinbe at least has a stat line of 4/5, and it does rest a 1 cost, which could come up in a situation against like a Eustace Captain Kidd or any yellow Supernova deck that plays against a Poos, or a green Bonnie who may play Beji. You have Fisher Tiger here. When this character would be KO'd by one of your opponent's effect, the same thing. You may trash 1 hand, full hand, and rest 1 card. If you do, play up to 1 cost 4 lower, and then on play, rest up to one of your opponent's characters. So I guess these 2 can be played with each other. You can use Aladdin to play out Fisher Tiger to then play out Aladdin. This will rest a character when it is on played from the Aladdin. So I also think it's supposed to be Aladdin, not Aladdin, but I could be wrong there as well. Maybe they're comboed together because this is Aladdin's dad? No. I don't remember ever hearing about an Aladdin, but I could be wrong. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. I haven't watched the anime in a little bit. Obviously we're all caught up and we're just waiting. We have Gum Gum Elephant Gatling. This is going to be our 1 cost event. We can use our leader effect. You may rest 1 of your Dawn, rest up to one of your opponent's characters. So it's basically a 2 cost, rest a 5 cost character. Or a counter event that's only costs 1 Dawn, and then up to one of your leader characters up to one of your leaders gains plus 3,000 during this battle. So just remember, this does only affect leaders, very similar to Divine Departure. Anyways, that's going to be the Jinbe deck that we are testing today. We are going to be just going raw dog in this thing because I have not even tested this myself. It's one again. I am in a rush today. I have so much to do. We had a huge weekend at the Charlotte Card Show setting up, and then we have our own card show March 22nd. I have so much to do for that, and it's tax season, so it's fun being a business owner kind of guy. So it's fun being a little fish in a big pond. Anyways, let's get into the games today. That's not the stuff you're here for. Let's get into Jinbe and into the games. Not deck profile. I gotta fix this. I suck at talking. So we're gonna start the day off against a purple Katakuri here. We are going second, so they get first curve. So we're going into second. We will go here, probably. Possibly here if we get the double search. I think we'll keep this hand, stop some early aggression. Our Arlong will be shut off because we are a 5-life leader, so I think we just take this turn to develop the blocker, force them into this instead. This grabs Fishman, so can it grab our Hody Jones? We do not know. We could grab Fisher Tiger because that will be pseudo rush. We could also go for Arlong, obviously not Tashigi, but I think Hody Jones is just such a great closer, so we cannot grab it though. We can't grab it. That kind of sucks. Whoever built this deck is not great at this. We could have said Dawn is active too. I did not even think about that. So we can set Shirahoshi as active. Actually, I don't even think... No, you can't do Merfolk. This is weird. Guys, this is weird. We're definitely going to take this. I'm not scared. Mama ain't raised no goon. They play out this, that if you have a character other than this with Big Mom Pirates, it gains blocker, and then you may add 1 card from the top of your life and then ramp a Dawn. Okay, interesting. Interesting here. So that's on play. So we could go with the blocker and then on play rest up to one of your opponent's characters with 1 cost or below. So we could go ahead and just force out the blocker, I guess, but I don't know if that's worth it. We could also stop it from just blocking in general. They don't play much removal, so that we may just go with the Arlong. It's not going to do much for us. So it only grabs Fishman Island. So like we could grab something like the Arlong here or the Jinbe. Oh, we're going into Jinbe. What am I even thinking? I shouldn't even have to think on that one. We will play out Arlong. We will give our Rested Dawn and stop this blocker just so they can't use it now because they already took the life, so it forces cards out of hand more than likely. I mean, they should also go down aggressively because they have 9 moms, so it's not something they have to be too stressed about. And then it's if you have 6 or less cards and we don't. So that's something we do have to think about. So now Shirahoshi will be here. They'll probably swing 4. They play this for 5. So activate main, trash one card, declare the top of your opponent's deck. Draw 1. Oh my gosh, this is so much reading. This is the Yu-Gi-Oh card right here. Charlotte Parasparrow is a Yu-Gi-Oh card and a half. So they check the top of our deck to then use the Parasparrow effect in just a moment, which will then allow them to draw 1 and add 1 Dawn as active. So you discard a card, say it's 4. They know, we know. They get to draw and set a Dawn as active. Very interesting stuff right there. So we will get Jinbe here. Jinbe is going to be pretty good, I would say, because we can rest this character and then go 4 to 4. I mean, simply just try to get rid of it. We go 5 in a face, and then we could go 8 in a face, because this can attack characters the turn they're played. It's okay. I mean, we're just going to try to force cards out of hand here. They should just let this one go for free and not be so stressed about it. I don't think there's any other play here. I don't know why you would save this, but again, they might. I don't think that would be smart. So we could go 5 in a face here. And then, do we want to turn this sideways? We have more than 6 cards in hand, so there's nothing we can do about that either. We could just play a couple cards, and then we can use this next turn to rest down the blocker. They should just 2k out of this and 1k, putting them down to 4 cards in hand. They could also just take and then block. We give this rush, and then swing 8 into 7. I didn't honestly think they would take, so they'll give us a card out of hand. Oh, they give us the blocker. Kind of surprised by that. We have a ton of counter, though, so we're still sitting in a good spot with that. They play on the 8-cost Katakuri. Set 2 of your Big Mom pirate-type characters with a cost of 3 or more as active, then add 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck as rested. So they get to check the top of our deck. We don't know what it is, but they do. And then we will counter out of this because I don't want to go down too low. They may go 7 into 4, but I don't think it's worth removing this character going 7 into 4. So they do the Jinbe effect. They draw 1 and add 1 Dawn again with the Parasparrow, which is slowly creeping up on us. I think we can counter out aggressively here because this Praline isn't going to do as much now, and we want less cards in hand to start standing our characters as active. So I think we start forcing into face now. We will have 6 here. This is really weird. This deck just feels very weird here to me. We could also go down Fisher Tiger and then give it Pseudo Rush if we need to. This would rest down their blocker, and then this would only rest down a 5-cost or less, and I don't think we need double Pseudo Blockers, so I do think we go with this, and then we can go into Aladdin if we need to. Luna, what do you need, Cat? So we'll rest down the Katakuri, give this character Pseudo Rush, and then we will go 5, 6, 8. Let's just go 5. 5 in a face here. They should counter out of hand, because if they don't, obviously that's going to be bad for them. They use the leader effect, going Dawn -1. I didn't even see them go Dawn -1. Yeah, I guess they did. So we'll go 5 again. That should give us 1 card. And then, do we just go for the resources or do we go into face? I feel like we go for the resources on the board now, because we get double swings into this. Let's go 8 into Katakuri and then decide. I think we should just probably take resources out of hand. They give us a 2k Daifuku, and then I think we'll go 8 again, just taking characters out of hand. So they reveal the top and then gives them 5,000. Oh my gosh, that's showing us they have no counter. So we will get to stand our Jinbe as active and 1 Dawn this time. We need to remember to do the 1 Dawn. We stood Jinbe just because it has so much more utility. And then if this gets KO'd by one of their effects, we're okay with that. Obviously, if they swing into it, we don't get the effect. The Parasparrow is going crazy. They have 10 Dawn. So what do you do on this 10 Dawn? This is a weird one, dude. This deck, I really like this Katakuri deck. Like, it's very interesting, and it's a lot better than I expected. I mean, obviously, it is Katakuri. Oh, man. Oh, man. So, Big Mom, Rush, very scary. So that's going to be a 6k into 4, and then 12 into 7. I think we're going to have to let both of those go, because they will have 7 into 7. We, obviously, I think we counter 1 on that action there. They will be able to use the Perispero effect to draw 1, gain 1 is active, so now they can go 8 into 7, or they can go, yeah, they should go 8. No, okay. That works too. You can definitely get into that. 7 into face. I think we have to counter this. Oh, but then they might not block. I think we can hide behind blockers. We'll take. We do get the Hoodie Jones, no trigger, and then 8. We could counter. How stressed are we? Well, we know they have very low counter in hand. So that is one thing to take into account. We'll take. We do finally get the Elephant Gun. This will become active again. So it stands both the little bodies as active. So we could Hoodie Jones here, but then we have to go for game. And I don't think we have it at 888. I just don't think there's a possible way. Because rest this. They gain 2 cards. 6 cards and not having 8K counters crazy here. So we definitely need to have 1 up for this. Probably go into Kami here. Definitely play down a blocker. So blocker, we need to develop some kind of board. The 8 is going to be, we need this to not be blocked. So we could go 8, and then that would leave us 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just to draw through the deck a little bit and grab maybe some more counter. So we'll start with 8 into face. We could also play down a bigger body and get rushed, but that's not going to help with this Charlotte Linlin. They should probably just counter out because they can go Dawn -1 and they get +5 again. So they go Dawn -1, check the top of our deck, give +1000, and then they can use a 1-cost counter event for 3K. Dude, this deck is cooking. A lot more than I thought. A lot more than I thought. They do have the Fisher Tiger on the top, so we know we have a 1K counter, Fishman Pirates at the very least. So then we can go 8 again. That should just be a 1K out of hand. Also, that might show us that we would have won with Hoodie Jones, but you can't just know that. You know what I mean? So we will play this down for 3. Choose no targets. We'll play down Kami for 1. Kami will grab us. See, I did the Kami because we knew there was a Fishman on top. We don't know if there was a Fishman Island type character. So we need to grab something with counter. So that's going to be our Fisher Tiger. We're going to play down the Searcher. Grab a Gum Gum Gatling. Oh, but we'll have too many cards in hand, so we won't get the 1 extra Dawn. So we need to grab something with counter that's not, because we're not going to be able to use that, right? We won't be able to use both of them. So we'll grab a 1K counter here. Probably should have grabbed the other 1K counter, because we need to be able to be safe from not dying, basically. So we'll pass. We have too many cards in hand to really use our leader effect. Our leader effect would be amazing here because they obviously don't have to go for game. They can go for game, you know, swing 7. If we take, they just split, right? So then we just lose. No, we have a blocker on the board, and we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8K counter. So we can get out of a 12 here. So we would have to take. Oh, we could only get out of one of these. Well, no, not even, because they just go split on all of them. So no blocker. We should, because it would be block, counter, die. Yeah. We have to counter out of a 7 here. I was just trying to math it out. You gotta see the math to math it out. Sorry guys, this is gonna be a mid video today. We have to get out of this as well, because then they just split 12 and 15. Or if we take, it would be split down the middle. So 7, 8 here, and then that would be 13 because it gains +1. So 14 and then 14, and we cannot get out of 14 either way. So we have to be able to get out of this, and then they go more into our board. So 1K here. Might have been good to keep the Fisher Tiger just because it does rest a 6, but I don't think that matters in this matchup where they do have the Katakuri already that will stand up both of these characters. Dang. And they have the Dawn -5, which are really tough for your opponent deck. If it's the same as declared, you get up to +2000 during this turn. Wow. So this can really be the closer of the next turn here. And it has Rush. Jeez, they could just play down another one, honestly. They could literally just play out another one, which it looks like they are just going to play down another one. Now that, I don't know if that is correct. I'm going to be honest, I don't know if that is correct. But we'll take this, see what happens. We do have the blocker. This doesn't affect us. So we had to take there because if they played out another one, they clear out the Jinbe for free. We need the Jinbe to split with. And I don't know if there's a really good option here. I don't know. I'm just a boy. Cat, I'm going to need you to move, baby. I'm sorry. All right. So we're going to have to go for the closing games, the closing remarks, the end, the finisher. We're going to rest down both of the blockers here. We are going to be able to go 7 and then 9 and then 9. No, 8 and 9. That's going to be our best math, I think. 7's going to be 2 cards out of hand, maybe 1 if they have more of this event. They do get to check the top and then give us a 2K instead. Actually, they're going 5. So they did just go down -5 for the Charlotte Linlin, now making their leader a 7K. So we're going to go 7 or 8 in the face because it's 8 and 9. So if you can get out of 8, you're chilling. That's going to be GG's, man. There was nothing to do there. This Katakuri deck cooks. Stand a Dawn, stand this. No, don't even get to stand the character. Never mind. All right, concede. That was wild, guys. And they did have the 1 counter. They had a 1K and possibly even the 2K. So, hey, that was a tough one, man. This Jinbe deck is not... It's user error, let's be honest. Okay, guys, I was playtesting a little bit, and I decided I wanted to try something with this Law that I did see on Reddit, and I was like, this could be interesting because you can play Law and then bounce something else back like your Kami and then play out like an Arlong, or you can play a Vander deck into KO something. You can play out a blocker so to get 2 blockers, or you can just replay Kami. You can play out Tashigi. I think this card could be really impactful in the deck. It's also a 5/6 blocker itself, and then it has good options to play into, playing more lower and mid-range rather than what we were. And I think we just changed the source a little bit. Like, we got rid of the Shirahoshi because we were whiffing on the Shirahoshi. We still have the Kami because it grabs Fishmen. Most of the characters in this deck are Fishmen, not new Fishmen. The new Fishmen are going to be this. I mean, these. But this is Fishman Island. Like, these are mainly just Fishmen. So our big threats, I feel like, are really just Fishmen. Our other side is new Fishmen, and I don't think there's enough of a consistency of new Fishmen type characters, or Fishman Island, I mean, type characters. Not new Fishmen, that's going to be Hody Jones. But anyways, I think we're going to try out this list here and see how we do. We got 2 more games, but I want to try something different, and I want something that's going to be working. So let's try it out and see how we do, per usual. Oh no. All right, we're taking on Red Black Koby here. They do go 1. I think they want to go into 7 because they have that promo, but I really don't know, and I don't even know what we want to go into. So we're going to go first, and I think we're going to mulligan. I did not like that. Yep, it is Jinbe time. Ween Fruit said, Jinbe? Smiley face. It's Jinbe. We'll see how we do. Yup. Send a little message back. We'll pass turn here. Obviously not using the effect. Nothing to choose. We can play on Praline on our next turn, which isn't a bad choice, especially into Koby because he does have some strong 1-cost characters that we can rest. So I don't think Praline's bad into this matchup, honestly. Even though it is just a blocker, like, it still has utility. And I'm happy with that. I am very happy with that because of this card. You may trash this character, give up to 1 of your characters plus 1,000 power during this turn, being very strong when they can attack active characters, and you get to look at the top 5 cards of your deck. That's a really strong SR for the deck right there. They go through and search. We don't know what they're searching for just yet. They grab a Hibari, give up to 1 of your opponent's characters minus 2k. Then when attacking this character gains plus 1,000, then if you have the Navy, up to 1 of your characters can then attack active. They then play the 1-cost searcher. Man, they are searching through the whole deck. So I think we will play the long haul here. Rest this, swing 5, call it a day. They don't get the plus 1k. They get characters in trash, but we don't play KO anyways other than the Vanderdecken. So we know Vanderdecken's not strong in this matchup, but we're not too stressed about it. We do have Fisher Tiger on the next turn. We're trying to burn resources, but of course they do play Gecko Moria, so we will get 1 Dawn active for no purpose but to scare them. If we have 3 or less life, and then if your opponent has 5 or more rested cards. So we need to get to a point where this is possible. It does count the leader too, I believe, so it just says cards. I guess we'll find out on the next turn, because a 7/7 may be coming at them. They played on Brand New is going to fill up the trash even more with 2 more cards as they search the top 3 and then trash the other 2, which is really obnoxious for what we're trying to do here, because, I mean, not really for us, but for most decks, because it does help with their KO, anti-KO removal. They get the 8-cost secret, up to 1 of your characters can attack active this turn. Wow, that is very annoying. We're going to take that. We do get a 2k counter, which is pretty solid here. This can obviously attack our opponent's characters that are active. We don't have the effect for any of our other characters. There's not a 4 that we really want to play, because I don't want a 4/6. I mean, actually, I think this would be better for something else. Get a 4/6 and a Kami, swing 5 at face. Yeah, that's cool with me. 5 at face. We'll Kami first just to see if there's something we'd rather play than Jinbe. If not, then we will go with Jinbe. Jinbe is going to be a 4/6. This will replace itself in hand, but then this will play on the board, so we will have 6 or less cards in hand. being really strong right there. We could also just go 5 in a face, play down Jinbe, restand Praline after, getting some extra aggression here. They do counter out, but I think we'll Kami first, then decide. I think we're trying to decide before we Kami. So get a 2k counter, play this, stand 1 Dawn, and call it a day. So that's going to be a 2k counter there, which is going to be really good because we have, a solid 6k counter in total, while our opponent has 7 cards in hand. So they're kind of stacking up, continuing to set up for what they're trying to do. Another Praline might be good into this Peacock, but it is what it is. The 6k is going to be very strong, hitting them in the face. Honesty Impact is crazy. Give minus 4k, then KO one character with a 6,000 power or less. So you're getting rid of a 10 cost on the board, basically, for 6 Dawn, or a 10k power, I should say. This is going to be really strong, especially in a lot of matchups in the current meta. That's why I think like the 10-drop Enel is going to get a little stronger with this current format, especially into red. I think, we saw that Katakuri just go crazy mode on us. And we're playing into leaders we've never played, and we're playing a leader we've never played. So give it some time, guys. I'm still learning this thing, because I get just as confused as you guys do. Don't get me wrong. We could Jinbe. Jinbe, rest down Borsa. It looks like they may. Oh, they will go 5. Okay, we'll probably take the 5 and then counter out of the 5. I'm not too worried about it. We do get the 5 cost blocker, so we could replay Praline if we need to later, or like return Kami to replay Kami. We will counter out of this aggressively. I don't think we'll need the Arlong anymore. Like, the Arlong's nice to get a 4-7, but I'd rather get the 6-8 Jinbe out long term. So I'd rather get one less card in our hand, because that's kind of the purpose of what we're doing. This will get an extra 1,000 power, but we're going to get rid of it pretty easily here, because we will be dropping this for 6. That'll leave us 1 extra Dawn, so we can go 6, 6, 8 into the character, because Jinbe is just that good. So we'll go 6 to start, see if we can get rid of it. I think this is a deck that wants to starve out its opponents, so if not, I think the best thing would be to go ahead and give it up, because that gives less utility for Jinbe to swing in, because it can only attack characters the turn it's played. If they do counter, I think that's a mistake in my opinion, because now they have to go through another swing, which is now an 8k swing into a character only. I mean, unless you're trying to save the brand new, that's possible. But for me, I don't think it was worth saving, because now they have to give us 2 cards, and then they'd have to give us 1 more. So I don't think those were the right options. I think we also clear this out. I don't think it's going to be a bad option at all. And then I think we pass turn, we stand the Jinbe as active and a Dawn. Now it looks like there's some reason we held 2 Dawn active. Don't get me wrong, we could have swung like with the Praline and then restood that. But I think leaving the 8 rested forces them into swinging active characters, because there's no way you're getting anything with this Jinbe. And then if the Jinbe was active, cards that say they can attack active characters the turn they're played cannot attack Jinbe, which I think is very strong. Now, they do give this -4 and then use the Honesty Impact on the Jinbe, but, oh, they just give it -4 here. Interesting stuff right there. I don't think that was the call. I don't think that was the move, because I'm going to counter out aggressively here, because I can basically develop a second Jinbe, and I don't think that's a bad idea, because that is counter from our hand, or non-counter from our hand. We still have the blocker. We could also blocker, return Kami, play Kami, and then kind of get into a safe spot and turtle up, but I don't think there's a reason to turtle up. We're not in a bad spot here. I think we're better going 6 for the Jinbe, not resting any characters, just showing them, hey, I got 2 of these things. And then we'll go 7, 7, 8. That's going to be very aggressive. They have 4 life, so they'll probably take 2 here. If you had to ask me, they should counter out of the 7 and then take the 8. Or if they're going to give us 2 2Ks anyways, that'll probably be the Jinbe here. Now, should we have countered out so aggressively with the Jinbe? Probably not. If you want a straightforward answer, probably not, because you can see our counters down to, 2K. We knew we could aggressively swing in the next turn. We knew we already had a Jinbe to replace it. We lost 4K counter, so now if they get bodies to swing active characters, that puts them in a bad spot. They do exactly as we thought. They do counter out, and then they will take this one, because they did have to give us 2 1Ks, showing us they don't have a ton of counter here, which is very interesting. No, they gave us a 2 and a 1. Never mind. Okay, well, that's fair. Again, we're going to do the same thing, standing the Jinbe and a Dawn, because this is not active, so they can't attack this active character, which is kind of interesting. I think that's how that works. I'm not 100% sure. That's just how I've taken it, because it does say they can attack active characters on the turn they're played, not that they can attack characters, because then they can't attack active. See, this one says this can attack one of your opponents, or up to one of your opponents, or up to one of your characters can attack one of your opponent's active characters this turn, so it could not attack rested characters. Now, That is on play, and it does count itself, meaning it will go 10 into our Jinbe, which we will have to let go, sadly. Even if we had the 1 cost event, it wouldn't work. Hold up. You really went for this guy. I don't think that was correct, in my personal opinion. I don't think that was correct. You saw me give you 2/2Ks. Maybe they think we have Sons of Counter, and that's why we did it. Yeah, I don't think that was right. That's just me personally. I don't know. I'm just a boy. Me personally, I'm just a boy. So what do we do here? No, that's not worth it. 5. Can't use this. I think we go aggressive into this. That'd be 3. What? 3 here. That's 6. We still have 4 Dawn. We still could play the Arlong, swing 6 at face. Let's try to get rid of this Koby. I don't think we're stressed about much else. I mean, we could also play this to play out the Arlong. The Arlong could then swing the turn that it's played. It doesn't have any effect other than that, though. We could also just go 8 in the face to poke. If they take, then we go for game. Yeah, I think that might be better. Let's go 8 in the face and see how they take it. Because if they take it, we can aggressively continue to swing into face here with another 8. And then if they do end up countering out of the 8 with a 2 and a 1, we should be pretty safe. But this forces in them to counter. Now, if they don't counter, as this was, we could just go... We have enough cards to restand our leader. If we play the Hody Jones, it replaces itself. Let's go 10 into face here. See if they take. If they take 10, which they have to counter out, where we just go, 13 into face? I think that's pretty good. And we'll actually go 12 into face if they do take this, leaving us to have the active Dawn, because we won't have it any other way for this character. It looks like they will counter out aggressively, so we should be pretty safe here if we develop the blocker instead. So we will go 5, resting 5, replace Kami to play out Kami to search again to grab more cards. This will be 5, return, play. Would that screw us up with our hand size? Let's find out. 5, no, because that would just replace the Law in hand. So that still puts us in a safe spot. We do get the Praline to hand here. And then we could double block her up, but I don't think that would be good. So you can grab this because she's a merfolk. Just to keep that in mind. Not something I just thought about. We will go, I think, 7 into face here. Force out a 2K. We could have also played the Praline just to have another blocker on the board. But I think with a 3K counter here and no cards in hand, we should be pretty safe. So we will tap out, stand this as active, stand Adonis active, and say, what can you do? You can't win this turn, so you need to clear board. You only have 3 cards in hand and 1 life. I don't think they've played poorly. I just think they haven't had many options in the deck, and they have. We're still figuring out the build, you know, so it's not fully there. They do get a top 5 search here and plus 1,000 power to one of their characters. This is only on play, so when attacking, it does give their leader plus 1,000 until the next turn, but it does not affect the current status of attacking active characters. Koby puts me to sleep, y'all. So they do get a doll in hand. We know they have a 1K counter, and then this does give a character minus 6,000 power on the turn, and it's a blocker, which is crazy. Like, that is really cracked. They grab the searcher. They're going to continue to keep digging. What are you digging for? Because now you're down to 6 Dawn. And so that's telling me they're kind of whiffing on something. And I don't know what it is because I don't know this deck properly. So maybe they're just looking for more counter. They do find the Honesty Impact, which will clear out one of our Jinbes. So they could also, this KO is a 6K power, so they could give -4 here, clear out the blocker, but then they can't swing our active. So we're still safe even if that happens, because this will give -4 here, clear out the blocker, which is amazing utility. Then they'll swing 5 into the character, and then, yeah, this is looking pretty good for us. I think at the end of the day, I think we have just guaranteed the game, because if we just go 9 into face, they don't have any active Dawn. Like, what can you do? It's just math at that point. If we fumble it, then that's on us. You know what I'm saying? So 9, I don't think is correct. I think you just go 5 here, and nothing really happens. They do return 2 cards from the trash to the deck to give their leader plus 1,000 power. Oh, that's why you have to do it this way. So I guess that makes a little more sense, especially because I am not going to counter out of that, of course. I could have Bro Trust. We will give him a 1-cost event. The leader will be a 7K. This actually only works on characters, so I don't know why you would buff the brand new there. We'll do this, give +8, and I think that should be guaranteed lethal. We just swing 9. Well, now we have to go 10 and 13, which is guaranteed still. So Alright, yeah, we're good. We just go 10. 10 is guaranteed. And then 8 on lead is 13. They have 3 cards, which can only go up to 12 here. So as long as they don't get some stupid trigger, we are good to go. And even if they did, we probably still had it, but you never really know. We know they had 1K. So at the end of the day, actually, it would have been fine either way. GG's. They said GG's in the chat. Oh, and we knew they had the Hibari, which is no counter. So they got Kuzan out of life. We were safe there. Totally safe. And I think that deck was a lot more smooth. I know it was against Koby. It wasn't against Katakuri. And Katakuri was kind of putting on a performance there. But I would say that was a lot better. And it looks like we're going to finish it off with Shanks. I don't think that's horrible for us. We're going to take second away from them. We do get the Vander deck, in which I think will be very strong later. But we don't have much to do early, especially on curve with only swinging 5s. We'll keep, though. We'll see what it does. We'll see what we do with the do. You know what I'm saying? So, not the most bestest hand, but we will get the draw, so the draw is obviously going to be good here. We'll pass turn, choosing to not do anything at all, because Vanderdecken is not what I want to play. I do not like that I have to do that every single turn, but it's just, I guess, part of it, whatever. They could go 8, we could go ahead and R-Long. R-Long would lower our hand size to keep our character effects active. We can go then 6, and then 5, and then we will have the 6-8 for the ability. The 6 will get out a 2K from hand more than likely. Like, I'm just thinking of like the long-term aspect. I'm assuming they just swing 8 here. They could develop a Hongo. Hongo would be really good against us, but usually they don't have it at this point, especially you needing 2K counters, thinking that, hey, this deck might be an aggressive build, this might not be, this might be this, that, whatever. I think we should expect to drop just an 8 in the face here. It looks like they may have something because they are thinking like crazy. And if you're wondering why I changed the screen, it's because my head was like this the whole time. And I was like, hey, I messed that up. I'm supposed to be a little more full. And you can definitely tell I'm a full kind of guy. I'm a big boy. So let's see what they choose to do. They are taking their time deciding. We've already gone 1 minute into the match and haven't seen a single thing happen. They play down Otama. Amazing stuff right there. Actually, that's probably the play I would have made. If I was thinking of what to do with Shanks right now, I'm sorry, guys. I'm just messing around. No hate on them. They're probably just a new player. They're still learning, so this won't be like the most competitive matchup, but it will be a matchup nonetheless. I think we will. If I take, though, the Arlong will lower my hand size. Yeah, we'll take aggressively. I ain't scared of nothing. They leave 2 active. I wonder what that could be for. We're going to swing 5 at face. We're going to gut check them, see if they use the leader effect, which they should use the leader effect here, I would assume. I don't think leaving 2 up for this ability for the 2-cost Red Fire Fist Red Hawk or whatever it is, I don't think that was a good idea, but I can see why you would do it, I guess. Maybe not this early, though, but as they say, use it when you can. We took the 5 anyway, so even if they did swing the 7, I basically played it as if they did swing the 7. They should just lead our ability here, and we should be good to go. Yep, they do lead our ability. We'll play this. We'll discard. We keep, play, keep, discard, play, discard, discard, play. I don't know. Dude, I'm at that point in the day where I have been working non-stop, 24/7, and I don't know what to do. This could be fun on the next turn, but we don't have a small body, so we'll just get rid of that. We'll choose the leader. They can't attack. We'll pass turn. We will get 1 Dawn active and call it a day. They have the 5 costs. 5 costs could be Ace or Marco more than likely. They could even play a Rush Zoro and swing 7, which would be kind of weird. But I could see why you would do that, especially in a deck like this. It's the same as swinging your leader, basically. And so you'd get out of 1 for free and 1 with the 2K, and then you'd have 2 bodies on the board. So I do see merit in playing Zoro and Shanks, but nobody does, and I don't understand it for sure, but whatever. It is what it is. I also think other rush options are actually really good in this deck because you don't think about it, but if I have like a 5-6 rush, like the unblockable Luffy, which really would help in your Blackbeard matchups, of course, playing down that character, swinging 6, now they have to swing 7 into that character or I get out of it for free. So they couldn't just go 6 and 6, or they just get a -1 and then a 1K. So you get to develop a bigger board, which Shanks has issues with. Rayleigh's pretty good here, giving them a blocker. Their leader can't attack anyways, so that's okay with me. We will probably rest down the Silver's Rayleigh here with the Jinbe. We will go 5 in the face, see if they'll give us a leader effect, or if they'll give us a 1K counter, or if they'll just take. Yeah, you probably just take. In all honesty, I would probably have just taken that swing. We don't have to put the Jinbe into a spot where they could just swing out or get rid of it. So we'll go 6 here, probably getting a card out of hand, but possibly not. I think a good player would just let it die because you know the Jinbe swing's coming in, and you don't need the Jinbe rested for any reason, because if you want to remove it, you have that ability. Well, you don't. You only can get rid of the Arlong. So I guess we could have gone 8 here first and then gone 6 in the face. But that was just a gut check. Again, this is still learning the deck. We get to swing 8. They probably don't know what Jinbe did, so that's something to think about, that it's not just their fault. We do get to stand one of these characters as active, which will be the Arlong because it is a smaller body. They give us a 1K and a 2K. They really want this guy to live. We're going to stand up our Arlong, stand up a Dawn, call it a day. We're actually having some counter now. We can Vanderdeck it on the next turn. We could Hody Jones on the next turn. We could cry ourselves to sleep tonight because it's just one of those days. Like, there's so many options in this world, and I love it. So we're gonna play this as best we can. They only have 3 cards in hand, so we're kind of starving them out here. But once they get the 10 drops, we start to get cooked. So I don't like seeing a 10 drop 12K coming in. So we have some time. They do drop the Beckman here, and they should just go 5 and 6, probably swinging the Rayleigh as well. I think we'll take the 6. So if they actually choose to give us the Rayleigh, we're not. Man, I'm getting tired. Oh. All right. Swing me for 5. You can attack this turn, so think about that. You do have the ability to attack, and I think we could even counter out of both and then go straight Hody Jones. Hody would be fun. They choose to go the 6 first, which is kind of weird. We could also go with the Arlong on the next turn, so we could keep the Vanderdeck in. But I think I don't think we need to cast it on this yet. I think we just give them Kami and decide later. Like, decide based off what we draw, and we draw another Kami. So we did pitch the right character there. We could go 8. Oh yeah, let's go 8. If they choose to counter, I think that puts us in a good spot. If they don't, then we can swing bigger with our Hody Jones into the Ben Beckman and just literally go for clearing the board and starving them out of resources, because that will put us with a strong board. They choose not to, so that's how we know to go for the Hody Jones, because we could have Arlonged, obviously, done some other shenanigans and whatever. So take a life here. We will go 9 into Benathan Beckman. So 9, they could go -1, give us a 2K here, which wouldn't be bad. But having the ability, oh, this could also have Rush because of the Jinbe. I didn't think about that. You can give this every turn. But that doesn't matter. That don't matter. Anyways, that don't matter. I wonder how our Blackbeard matchup is. That's one thing I've thought about. It's like, how would a deck like this with this Jinbe, this would be really strong, I feel like, because you could just play down little chump bodies like a, does it say Merfolk? Yeah, you could even give the Kami Rush into like a Doc Q, so you could swing out as much as you need to. And I think we'll go, they haven't leader ability here, so there's not even a purpose of swinging life. We'll just get rid of Otama. There's not a way for them to use it in any other way, so just clear it out because we can, kind of deal. And then we'll get to stand up our Jinbe as active, and we'll get to stand up a Dawn. So if they swing face, we have 3K counter. If they swing anything else, we have 4K counter. They only have a 9 drop at most. They don't have a way to clear out both of these, or probably either of them, honestly. I mean, you could, like Silver's Rayleigh, go -3, -2. You'd have 2 Otama on top. We've already seen 2 Otamas, so for them to have this little amount of card selection and have 2 Otamas would be a little crazy to me, but it's always a possibility here. We'll have to see what they choose to do. There's definitely options. They do have the Rayleigh. The Rayleigh's going to be not so good, but not so bad. They can go, obviously, into our character. They go -3, -2. That was not correct. They should have gone -2, -3, because that would make this a 5K, and you swing 6 into the character. But who's to say if I'm correct or not? I could easily be wrong, because I'm known for doing that. But I'm 99.99999% sure I'm right. But again, this is a new player. They're still learning. So give them a break. They might not have known. Don't be roasting them down there in the comments like you guys do. You guys flame me like crazy, so like you're like, dang bro, your hairline. And I'm like, what is that about? Like, why do we have to do that? So 5 and us, I think we will give them an Arlong. I think this has nothing at this point of the game because they're not going to play any like small bodies that we're stressed about. So we could Kami first. If we find a Hody Jones, we Hody Jones again. Hody Jones. I like Hody Jones. We played on Kami. Kami will find us a 2K counter. That's good at least. We do have the Vanderdeck, and that's not going to do much. So I guess we just swing out on them. They only have 1 Dawn active, so we're not too stressed about anything. This is a 5K. So we'll play down Arlong for no effect. We will give our leader a rested Dawn. And I think we're just going to swing out because this doesn't affect this character. And we could also go with a blocker. Yeah, we're going to go with the blocker. We shouldn't have played those first, but I'm too tired to be thinking about this kind of stuff. We'll go 6 in the face, and then we can go 7 in the face, and then we can go 7 in the face. And we should be pretty good there. Should be doing pretty solid. Should be doing a pretty good job. But I like having the blocker. The blocker's going to be good in case this Rayleigh wants to clear something out. And we still have 3k counter, up to 6k if they swing lead. Again, this does only affect the leader, so keep that in mind. I think this is a starving deck, though. I think they have to probably counter out of this. And if they do, we could literally just be like, that's fine. You got it. Like, just pass it over at that point, because we don't have to force anything in here. And we're not in a spot where we're really stressed about anything. We're going to go 7 with the character first. It makes more sense just in case they have some kind of trigger that only affects characters. Usually a cost minus or a power minus can affect both the character and the leader, but it's better safe than sorry. We just need to hope this does not get punished. That's our biggest worry, is if this Praline gets punished, we're cooked. Like, chat, we're done. We are done for if that happens, and I'm going to be kind of pissed because that was my bad. That's on me. Hey, that's on me. We'll give this guy Rush for fun. We're going to go 7 into face. 7 into face, we will be able to stand 1 active, and a character is active. We will stand our Jinbe as active because it gives us more utility into giving characters pseudo rush. So, Hody Jones has done his job. He needs to -1 and then 2k out of this. If they even have a 2k, it might be 2 1ks, which would be, I mean, Radical Beam? Are you serious? Radical Beam. We'll stand this as active, get a Dawn, and pass. We do have the Vanderdecken next turn to get rid of the Rayleigh, allowing us to put on the aggression. So I think that allows us to let Hody Jones die, depending on how they do it. Now, if they go 10 drop and then or 12 drop, they go 8 here. We give them 2k, and then okay, this just totally changed the game plan here. I'm not liking it. I'm not liking this. I'm not liking this one bit, boys. I'm not liking this one bit. They get rid of the Building Snake, give this -3. They could have been Beckman or Rayleigh. Rayleigh would be very strong here, giving -3 more and then KOing the character. And then -2 on the Jinbe, which they need to do correctly this time, or it does get punished. But we should be in a pretty safe spot. They would have double Rayleighs. Double Rayleighs is no fun. So we need to stay somewhat healthy at that point. We'll take probably... Or we could take both. We still have the 3k counter. They played on this Rayleigh instead. That is a whole different effect, my friend. They get rid of their non-counter Building Snake. It looks like they really just want to clear this body. So it depends on how they do it. If they swing 8, we're assuming they're going to swing 9 next, which would be probably pretty smart. But we could easily just block out of the 8 if we want to. We could also see just what we top deck. We could also just stop yapping. We yap a lot, so it is what it is. They go 7 here. We could counter out pretty safely, but then we lose our Vanderdecken. I think we just let that go. I honestly think we just let it go. Like, we are literally like Elsa here, where we just say, let it go, let it go. Because, yeah, I don't want to give 2 cards out of hand. We can easily take a life because it lets us keep our blocker. And we're not feeling too bad. I mean, double Jinbe is really good here. We can also probably... This is not that good. Double of these things is kind of wild. We could easily tap 2 Dawn, rest down the Rayleigh, and go for more clearing board, which I don't think is bad either. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Use card action, rest down the character. Let's go 8 into Rayleigh, see what they choose to do. We will be playing Vanderdecken and getting rid of Rayleigh here, and then swinging face if they don't let us clear out this body. So we're just kind of getting cards out of hand, not telling them, hey, we're going to drop this big guy on you. It's more just giving us the option. They could go -1, give us a 2k again, especially because they did just filter hand. But, I mean, we can go 4 here, 8 again. We can go 7 there, and then get another 2k, and then still Vanderdecken safely. So we should be pretty good to get almost every card out of hand, and then just finish the game on the next turn, putting them in the position where they need to finish the game. Or we can, I mean, there's just so many options. I should just figure out what they're going to do, which they're trying to decide, because if they go -1, we could also just go 6 here, go 10, so 10 would be guaranteed. That's probably the better option. Just go a guaranteed 10. They need to give us 2k counter. Oh, buddy. Well, now this is guaranteed to go through. So we'll go 8 into the character. And then they're like, oh, now we can't clear out my silvers. Rayleigh. Oh, we got him, chat. We got him. Joke's on you, buddy. 7 into face. This just needs to discard a Fishman-type character, which Jinbe is a Fishman-type character. So we are going to ruin your whole board, have a blocker on the board, and develop a small 2k body, which doesn't do much, but it could do something. Let's just fingers crossed. Vanderdecken, use card action, trash, KO, and pass, restanding our big character and a Dawn, or our little character, because this will keep this guy safe. We still have the blocker for Jinbe. I mean, if he drops the 10 drop, he tries to swing this, we block, and then I think we just go for game at that point. We still have 4k counter. I mean, I don't think there's much you can do here, Shanks. Shanksy baby. Shanksy Boo. I think you're cooked, brother. What? What? I think they give up. I think they're tilted. I think they're angry. Let's go 8 in the face. I'm not giving it back. I usually give it back. I'm not giving it back. If you're tilted, you're cooked at this point. This is just ending the game, guys. GG's to our opponent. I really think we just had the game. I don't think there was much they could do. It seems like they were just kind of giving up. Possible full tilt there. So let's just get into the deck profile. Not sit here and wait around if they're going to be full tilt here. We were nice. We said, hey, you're a new player. That's all good. No worries about it. But GG's. And let's look at the deck profile and finish off the video. Guys, that was Jinbe. I think we ended on a strong note. We started on a weak note. I think that first deck profile was just mid. Like the epitome of mid. I think once you start having different combinations in the deck, I think it's a little better. I don't think this is the final build. Don't get me wrong. I don't think this is the final build. I think this card is so good for the deck, so I definitely think this was really a good option. I think more of the Arlongs possibly, but then we need to keep counter and control and make sure we have enough counter power for late game. So that's where having 13 bricks already comes into account, where we may need to run 0 cost, but I think this Fisher Tiger is so good, but Fisher Tiger is obviously not as good as Jinbe, and so on and so forth. So I definitely think there's more structuring to do for the deck. I think it was a lot of fun. Again, one of my favorite characters, but it's one we still need to build on. So I need to hear from you guys in the comments below on what we should be cooking up with this. If you're excited for the videos on the 4-player tournament, because someone's going to be winning big, and I'm super excited to give that away. So I'm so excited for so much happening on the channel. I just have so much life going on. I'm sick today. Like, I'm sniffly. I got my throat hurting. I got so much to do. So we're out here hustling, boys. Keep it up. Keep working hard. I'm so proud of you guys, and I will see you guys very soon in the next deck profile, probably more OP11, but probably the next time you see me Thursday when we do the tournament. So we'll be doing the tournament Thursday and then probably posting about it Friday, depending on how the editing goes, and you know what I'm saying. I love you and your mama. Peace.